All right, to get us started, we'll start with Mark Weiser and Mike Griffith.
Hey, Jenny, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. I want to get your sense of how you guys feel as a defense, and particularly, I guess, maybe the linebackers, in defending the pass. Obviously Mississippi State has a different scheme and a different way they approach the passing game. But how did you all feel about, how you guys did? I know you guys wanted to be patient, but, were there some things that you guys heard after the game that you need to get better in pass coverage?
We felt as a team that we worked hard. It was a good team win or whatnot, but there's always something that we need to work on or something we always need to get better at or whatnot. And so that game we did play a little differently or whatnot, but like we're just moving on to next week now and like just focus on what this team has to offer.
Jenny, can you just talk about the opportunities you got in front of you? I mean, obviously you're a guy that's been working hard and a really talented deep defense. How good does it feel to be getting these game snaps on Saturdays?
I feel real good, coming from linebacker. I say I wasn't ready. There was a lot I needed to work on. I'm starting to see like little flashes within myself. Like I'm getting better or whatnot, whether that's reading keys or dropping out in coverage or whatnot. And like just seeing that success, you just strive for it more and more. It's almost like a hunger, like an addiction type of thing. And it's just something I want to just keep getting better at every day. Especially playing South Carolina. That's one game I always mark down in my calendar every year. So
Next, we'll go to Seth Emerson and Anthony Dasher.
Channing, what has this year been like for the defense? Y'all did what y'all did last year, come in with this, reputation for being elite, but there's been 3 games, obviously, that have been rougher. Has it been frustrating, or do y'all like need to do soul searching, or do y'all know what the problem is and you just have to fix it?
I look at the defense as like my family or whatnot. And so like, I'd say we know what the problem is or whatnot, and it's just a matter of time of fixing it or whatnot. Everybody being on one accord, being on one page or whatnot. And like, that's just something that everybody within themselves have to find what they need to do and whatnot. And so like, once we all go on the same page and whatnot, I feel like things will turn around.
What are you not on the same page about?
I say we, as a team, I want to say like we know what we have to do or whatnot, but we know what we have to do, but just like the progression of doing it, just making sure everybody's doing their job or whatnot, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Hey, Channing, good. Hey, Channing, good to see you. Can you kind of explain, you mentioned a second ago, going back to play South Carolina, what the emotions are like for someone like yourself? From there, I know a lot of people thought you would go there to have an opportunity to line up against them. What is that like for you? Not only for you, but your family as well.
It's always a good experience going back home. My father is a Dogs fan, and then my mother went to the University of South Carolina herself. Mm-hmm. So that rivalry's always been pretty big in my family, whatnot. But emotion, I went to when I was a little child, going to little games, watching Ty Gurley play in the stadium against, Marcus Lattimore, some of the greatest people out there, whatnot. So like, it's very exciting for me and whatnot. But now that I get to play in, it's just better feeling.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Chip Towers, then Jake Rowe.
Yeah, Channing, good to see you. Can you talk a little bit about what just the struggle, that it always is at any place like Georgia, just to get on the field, the development. It seems like it's been slow in coming, but you can see now you're playing a lot. What has that taken to get where you are now?
Just a lot of film work and like looking deep within myself and being honest about like what I need to do in order to progress or whatnot. I don't feel like I was taking the necessary steps before in order to get where I was. And now I feel like I'm starting to do that. We're not just training more and looking at more film and just doing the little things. It's always about the little things.
if I'm not mistaken, you played a lot of defensive end, and speed was really your thing in high school. Is that the transition to being inside and having to go both directions, and all of that stuff? Was that part of the complication?
Yeah, I would say a little bit. It's like inside linebacker, it's a lot more thinking into the game and whatnot, and a lot more formations you have to just sit down and read and whatnot. And so, like, those were some of the things that I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
Channing, what have the first 2.5, 3 years meant to you as far as like learning from guys like Monty and learning, kind of how to operate within the defense to kind of grow as a player? How far have you come, and kind of what are your goals going forward as you kind of start to get some traction?
Learning from guys like JT, Nate Trez, Monty, just guys that always been older than me and whatnot. They've always pushed me to do better and whatnot. Like every time they see me hang my head down or see that I'm not getting anything, they'll always try to like put a helping hand out there and make sure I got it, tough love, whatever it might be. So like I really appreciate those guys. And I probably wouldn't be in the position I am now, like moving forward, climbing, if it wasn't for them. So I appreciate them for that.
Next up, we'll go to Brandon Sudge, then Austin Roper.
Hey, Channing, following up on the whole South Carolina thing, can you recall how close it was between Georgia and South Carolina back a couple of years ago? And then also, how many family members are you gonna have at the game on Saturday?
Could you elaborate on that first question? But
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, like, back when you were a prospect, can you recall like how kind of close you were going to South Carolina, and do you remember what the difference was, I guess, in order for you to end up at Georgia rather than staying home?
Yeah, I got you. I would say I grew up in South Carolina and whatnot, but like I want to explore more or whatnot. So like I've been home all my life, so I wanted to get outside of home and whatnot. And but I didn't want to be too far away from home. And like Georgia just ticked all the boxes for me at that point. After I was looking out of state, and then for my family or whatnot, my little brother, my little sister, 2 of my high school friends, and my father would probably be at the game. So, yeah.
Hey Channing. So given that y'all are obviously playing South Carolina this Saturday, and their quarterback situation isn't really like, it's not that they don't really know who their starter is going to be yet. They haven't publicly said it. So can you talk about kind of what is difficult about game planning for a team when you don't really know who the starting quarterback is going to be throughout the week?
Yeah, you really don't know what to expect or whatnot. And then, some like quarterbacks have better attributes than other quarterbacks or whatnot, and you really just don't know what to expect or whatnot. Like I know Luke Doty played a little bit last game or whatnot, and he's really mobile, dual threat quarterback and whatnot. And so like you really just don't know what you're gonna get. And like a quarterback could really change your whole like game plan, in my opinion.
We've got time for one more quick question if anyone would like to jump in and take it.
Hey, Channing, a lot of times, people outside the program, whether it's fans, media, whatever, often second guess, coaching decision on who plays when and stuff like that. Can you just describe from in the building the buy-in that you guys and the trust you guys have in coaches and their decisions on who plays when?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, a lot of people second guess from the outside, who plays when and stuff, and coaching decisions and stuff like that. But how much trust do you guys in the locker room have in what the coaches decide and who plays and when?
From Coach Smart to Coach Schumann, who are I trust them wholeheartedly. Like I feel like they're gonna give us a win every week, regardless of what we do. We have full trust in our coaches and whatnot, and we know they've been doing this for a very long time and whatnot. And like, who am I to tell the coach like what they need to do? I'm just getting here, like been here for like 3 years. So like, I'm definitely going to take the experience that they have. And like, I chose to come here and commit here, and now it's time to do what we got to do. It's ultimately not just up to the coaches, it's up to us as players as well to get the job done. So yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Channing. Have a great rest of your Monday.